Natasha's just been saying it could have been more than 2. She said just not enough players turned up on the day. She said 7 or 8 players just didn't turn up, if you like. Is that fair?
Yeah, and I think that's really disappointing. The preparation was good. We went down obviously even a day earlier on the Friday. The vibe was good. It felt like they were ready, and then unfortunately, that big word of inconsistency again has cropped up, and we just couldn't get going from the off, and players struggled to find the right spaces. On reflection, when we've watched it back, we can see they can see now where they went wrong, and we've changed the shape at half time to try and just match Portsmouth and really just go at them. Managed to claw a goal back with 20 minutes to go, and I was still thinking there was opportunities in the were, but just not clinical when we need to be, and unfortunately came away with nothing.
There are 2 goals to the double act, the 2 Portsmouth players, because of 2 assists, 2 goals from the pair of them.
Yeah, and credit to them, they were really up for it. They came out where the press were hard, which we thought they would because they've won last week and they're fighting for their lives, and we have to make sure that we're consistent. The 2 previous performances were good, and it was a good opportunity to build on that for the rest of the season, but it feels like we've took a little step back, and sometimes you have to take a step back to go forward again, so we're hoping to use that as a springboard for this weekend.
Natasha mentioned the psychologist. Do you think this part of it is that you've beaten them in the cup, and is that sort of in the back of your mind, you just think you can turn up and beat them again?
Maybe, I haven't got a crystal ball. I can't see what's going on in their minds, and as professionals now, we have to make sure that you're up for every game and you apply yourselves in every game, because when you don't, you come away disappointed. So there's lessons to be learned. We've still got a young squad, we're still growing, but like I said, we want to use it as a springboard to really try and kick on, especially this weekend.
Well, this weekend, talking about mind games, and how important psychology is sometimes. This game seems to be more about the head than the feet, isn't it? It's just making sure you're in the right place, and as Natasha said, it's not, don't play the occasion, play the game.
Yeah, and we've been beat off them this season already. We know how that felt, and it's about putting it right. It's about putting on a good performance for the fans first and foremost, and make sure we're turning up with the right attitude and application to get a result. We've come off the back of a derby in terms of beating Durham at the Stadium of Light, which was a really good performance. We know what they're about, and we're going to go there and try and get 3 points.
Are those 2 games, the Newcastle match earlier in the season and that Durham game, are they 2 that you will remind the players about, in terms of they didn't really turn up in the first half against Newcastle, but then you did turn up against Durham and sort of laid to rest a few of the sort of fears you had about playing at the Stadium of Light? Yeah,
I think so. We've had 3 derbies this season. We did the double over Durham, and I think every game's probably got a little, a different type of feel. We're travelling to St James's for the first time and in front of a league record crowd. Lots of things to kind of be conscious of off the pitch as well. So it's important that we have them discussions to make sure players are at ease with what's going to be, in front of them at the weekend.
A reminder as well that you mentioned this last week about the fact that the teams at the top, they're going to play each other, they're going to take points off each other. Can't lose sight of the fact this is a league game, it's 3 points. If you are going to push for the top spot, you do have to win.
Yeah, I think we just got to really make sure that there's a performance there first and foremost. The things that we want to do with the ball are really important. Something that we've really focused on this week in terms of the spaces that we didn't occupy well against Portsmouth. That's been a real reflection in terms of where we went wrong and what needs to be better. So there's some real clarity being done this week on the grass with the players. And then out of possession, we just need to be harder to be beat. And I think we were almost pushing too high up the pitch, and we've left gaps in behind, which a direct Portsmouth exploited. So yeah, lots of lessons learned, and we travel there with a positive mindset in terms of we want to put the result previously to right.
Keep them quiet.
Yeah.
You've dealt well so far, apart from Portsmouth, with the loss of Eleanor Dale. Are you pleased with the way that you've managed to deal with that situation?
I think in certain games, yes. Losing Eleanor Dale has not helped. She was a real pivotal centre forward for us who was in really good form. She's probably irreplaceable at this moment in time. We've tried to change the way we played a little bit in terms of the formation, just to try and complement the other players who then need to step up higher up the pitch for her. She's been a real loss, but the players have then got to step up and they also have to deliver. Delighted for Katie Watson, who came on at the weekend. Lively, a real threat down that right hand side. Again, took a goal really well, which is a real positive for her going into this weekend as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Katie. I mean, she's been coming off the bench this season. Where do you see her development in terms of becoming a regular starter?
Yeah, I think she has to show that impact from the start. There's moments where she has been given the nod from the off and maybe hasn't had the same effect of what it's like coming on as a substitute. But she's still a really young player, still really learning the game tactically and understanding how we want them to play. So really happy with her progress. Like I said, she's a young player who still needs a lot more, and you will see a lot more to come.
And is this one for the older heads, just because you need that experience in these situations?
Older heads, younger heads, young players might not overthink things. Older players might think about everything. We just have to make sure everyone in our circle knows what they need to do. Real simple instructions, real clarity, and then the players have to go and step up and deliver.
And everybody fit? Mary back in?
Mary's back, yeah, she's been on the grass all week, so yeah, we've got a fully fit squad. Thanks.
I know, after what the men's team at Newcastle did in the League Cup final, that spillover of party atmosphere will no doubt, including the big crowd, will make quite a difference. So I suppose not an easy time to be a visiting team, but a great learning experience for your players. Yeah,
I think regardless of that result, it's probably always going to be difficult to play in front of 27,000 fans and maybe only 1,000 Sunderland fans in the ground. So regardless of that victory for the men's team, it's probably irrelevant to us. We've had a lot of preparation in terms of what it's going to feel like going into this game, so that doesn't change for us.
And you talked about incentive, that the Durham games went well, the Newcastle game, the Stadium Light didn't. So you've got that real incentive to, as you said, to put things right.
Yeah, and that's what football's about. Sometimes you get the result and sometimes you don't. And when you don't, it gives you that added motivation to go and put things right the next time.
How do you regard the season so far? Are you thinking at the moment that positives slightly outweighing the negatives?
I think we've just been inconsistent. I think we had a tough start and then we picked up some form. Then we've had a tough second half of the season, and then we're trying to, flip that again to try and finish strongly. So I think the word inconsistent probably sums it up.
Hi Mel.
Hello.
The Carabao Cup will be obviously on show at St James's Park this weekend. Are you worried that is a bit of distraction from the occasion at hand, because it is such a big game in the women's game?
A worry for my team?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. And in terms of the rivalry then, obviously you've been with Sunderland for a while now. It seems to get bigger every time that we face a local team in a derby like this. How much have you seen that rivalry grow, and is it a good thing? Does it spur you on, or is it a bit of a distraction?
I think it's good to have a rivalry. I think there's probably a lot more emotion in the games than what there is when you're playing someone from outside your area. I think that's good. I think we've experienced for a number of years against Durham. I think the rivalry of Newcastle Sunderland is very much the men's rivalry, but now the women are kind of in the league. It'll start to grow and it'll start to get stronger, but it's an exciting occasion. It's great for the area. It's great to see so many fans who want to come and watch a women's football game. That's what we want. We're growing the game, and the audiences have got to grow with it.
And obviously it is a record-breaking game. How's it for you to be part of something like that?
Yeah, that's what we want. We want to be playing in the big stadiums in front of big crowds, and we don't want this just to be a one-off. We want this to be a regular occurrence. So it's not a novelty. It's something that the players and managers have to deal with every week. Cheers.
Obviously, so much in the order of going in this weekend is about being time to the army, the record crowd, all that sort of stuff. But given where both sides currently are on the table, do you think it's fair to say that this will be a huge game, even taking the local rivalry out?
Yeah, I think we're obviously close in terms of points to what, next to each other in the league, and a victory would see us move higher up the league and away from Newcastle as well. So, we've got we've got the games left that we want to put right, and you know, it's a great opportunity on Sunday to start the ball rolling with the next fixtures that we've got.
And how important is it that you finish the season strongly, sort of regardless of the position you're in?
Very important. I think I said it last week that we wanted a strong finish. Obviously that didn't go well last weekend against Portsmouth, and there was a lot of disappointment, as you can imagine. You've got an 8-9 hour bus ride all the way back, and it's not the best feeling when you get beat, never mind when you've got to sit on a bus for 9 hours as well. So we have to put that right, and you know, they've trained well, they've applied themselves well on the grass this week, they've showed good understanding, and you know, we have to make sure that we're better on Sunday.
I just wanted to ask you about Libby McInnes as well. Obviously, you enjoyed a really good campaign. I mean, first of all, how impressive it's been for personal development, but then also, what does it say about the club's ability to break through young talent from the academy and give them the opportunity in the first?
Yeah, of course. You know, we brought Libby in when she was 15, 16-year-old. Bit of a slow burner at the beginning in terms of where we needed to get her, but I think this season she's really applied herself and really kicked on physically, which I think has helped her game. And I'll go back to the word consistency, and this is for all the players. You know, having one good game now isn't enough. It has to be consistently every week, and that collectively will see us get higher up the league.